right, so I just got home and holy crap, I'm sure everyone's already known this, but damn, America is healing. Holy crap. Some crazy stuff going on. Yeah, so let's get straight to it. Now, here's one thing I'm going to talk about, and I'm probably going to make a few videos of this because there was a lot of crap that just happened today, and I'm really enthusiastic to talk about it because, man, it's something that we've been all dreaming for such a long time. But man, it is happening, so let's get to it. Alright, so if you guys don't know, the amazing news is that Jimmy Kimmel is finally been canceled. And if you guys don't know who Jimmy Kimmel is, he is a late night show host from ABC. And okay, I'm not gonna lie, he was funny for like a couple years ago, right? But the problem is when you okay, so how do I explain this? So look, back in 2016, it was fun to make fun of Trump. Like, it was fun. I get it, but you gotta come up with new jokes. And that was the problem with Jimmy Kimmel. He started using the same jokes, Trump this, Trump that. Like, literally the whole year was him Trump living rent-free in his head. So, yeah, of course no one's gonna watch this shit. Now, the question is, why was he canceled, right? So, let's watch this clip real quickly.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. Okay. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. There's demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns.
He says mourns like a goldfish, right? So I can get the joke. Like, yeah, it's kind of funny. I get it because, like, I understand the joke because, yeah, it looked like Trump was kind of like, okay, yeah, moving on, right? So I get it, right? I totally understand that. But again, the timing was so wrong for it. Now, don't get me wrong. I like a good dark, edgy joke, but the timing just wasn't there, right? And of course, Nexstar Media Group releases this today. So Nexstar ABC affiliates to preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live. So Nexstar Media Group today announced that the company's owned and partner television stations affiliated with the ABC television network would preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live for the foreseeable future, beginning with the Tonight Show. Nexstar strongly objects to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning the killing of Charlie Kirk and will replace the show with another program on its ABC affiliate markets. Mr. Kimmel's comments about the death of Mr. Kirk are offensive and insensitive at the critical time in our nation political disclosure, and we do not believe they reflect with the spectrum of the opinions, views, or values of the local communities in which we are located, said Andrew Alfard, president of Nexstar's broadcasting division. Continuing to give Mr. Kimmel a broadcast platform in communities we serve is simply not in the public interest at the current time, and we have made the difficult decision to preempt the show in an effort to let cooler heads prevail as we move forward toward a resumption of respectful and constructive dialogue. Now, if people are going to say, oh, well, what happened to freedom of speech? Yeah, you still get the freedom of speech to talk. The government still gives you freedom of speech. But last time I checked, if you're working at a place, you don't just say what the hell you want, right? So that's like if I were to say, well, again, like from all the examples, I celebrating people's death, and they know you're working at that company, there's gonna be consequences. You're gonna get fired. Like, that's just how it is. That's normal. Like anything, really, like anything inappropriate. Especially if you say something like, well, this person's stupid, or you say something, inappropriate or racist, yeah, you're going to get fired. But you still have the freedom of speech to say it, just know there's consequences. And that's for me too. Like, if I was at work, like if I said something, bad and, on posting and stuff like that, hopefully I don't. I think I'm pretty well mannered and spoken, when I talk about stuff. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that, well, that's just too bad. Again, like, shit has consequences at the end of the day. Like, you have the freedom of speech, but just know there are consequences that could happen outside of the government, and companies are allowed to fire you. Isn't that what the cancel culture wanted? That's literally what cancel culture is. Like, a couple years ago was the same thing. You got canceled for doing this, you couldn't do it, and then you get fired. Same shit. So at the end of the day, like, if you're complaining about this, about lack of free speech, it's not free speech. And this had nothing to do with the government at all. This is clearly coming from a media group. And what does a good business do? If the people don't like it, they gotta follow what the consumer wants. If the consumer doesn't like it, well, maybe they should change it. So here we go. Here we are today. Now, I'll say this again. I get the joke. It's kind of funny. I get it. But it's the timing of it was bad. If Jimmy waited maybe like a couple years, maybe it'd be okay. But you just did it at a really horrible time. That's just it. And I get it. Because I've been in situations where I said shit at a really bad time. It was funny, but at the timing was a bad idea. So I totally get it, but it's a bad idea. So anyway, so Jimmy is canceled for that. And I don't know if it means that, like, he's totally canceled. I think just from this program. So let's see. Lefts are melting down over Disney ABC pulling Jimmy Kimmel, saying it's a violation of free speech. Is it though? They were radio silent when Disney fired. Oh yeah, so Gina Carano. She got fired because she said some shit on Twitter. And yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest shit. Same thing. I'll say the same thing with it. Like, you say some inappropriate shit, yeah, you're gonna get fired. Sorry, that's just it. Now, I'm not defending what she said. I don't agree with what she said either. She shouldn't have said it. But that's what happens. You get fired. It's the same shit. Like, so, yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's the same thing too. Like, people get fired. Oh, and by the way, remember when Twitter fucking canceled all of us? Like, a majority of us? Donald Trump was banned. A few other people were banned on Twitter. My account was being censored all the time when I was saying shit. So, yeah, remember that? No one ever talked about that, right? How crazy is that? So, anyways, so I don't think it's a censorship issue. I think it's just clearly business, right? Like I said, if I was a Twitch, like, for example, right? I go on Twitch, and let me say it's a good example. Maybe not Twitch is a good example. But what I'm trying to say is that you want to have the consumer follow what they like, right? Like, for me, I stream on Twitch. Doesn't mean everyone has to join because maybe they don't like my content. So you always have to go whatever the consumer wants. That's just how it is. That's just how life is. That's probably a bad example. I'm kind of just shooting stuff out of my head. But, so let's see. They pulled out the show Jimmy Kimmel. Here we go. But again, that's not it. I'm not going to read this. I'll get into that later. So anyways, so yeah, no, indefinitely polling Jimmy Kimmel. So in other words, it means you're fired. So I guess he really is fired. So, like I said, Jimmy Kimmel was funny like a couple years ago, but man, he just got really boring, and he just got very like propaganda. He was fucking crying and shit like that. Like, you guys remember that? He cried like when Trump won. It was so stupid. So I don't know. It's just a whole propaganda thing. It's a media propaganda, and I get it, right? Like, you want to do like propaganda shit, but yeah, no, it's not gonna buy it. Like, no one who cares about this stuff. It's just what happens, man. It's just consequences. So that's all I have to say, and I'll say that for everyone. Like, if you celebrate any deaths or make fun of any kind of death, yeah, you're gonna look bad. Like, I bet you, if it was vice versa, where someone made fun of, let's say an example, Dean Parker passed away, got shot, the same thing, I bet you they would get canceled too. And even if he did die, say something happened, not saying it will, but I'm saying if it did, I wouldn't say anything about it. I would still be sad. I'll be sad about it, but there's two things I would do, right? I would either not say anything, or I would say, oh man, that sucks, man. And that's just, you move on. I would never celebrate. I wouldn't say, oh, thank God he's dead. I would never say that. Would not say that at all. So, anyways, so that's crazy enough. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. This is probably the last thing you guys see. Yeah, this is him. So there you go, guys.